Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome to a special edition of the Droid Life Show here at CES. As you can see, Tim and I are sitting here, one computer, sharing earbuds. This is the makeshift show we got to do tonight. We're in actually a private room in the press room, so if there's a little background noise, bear with us. But yeah, we're here at CES. It's been a little bit of a slow show. We started off with a bang with NVIDIA's Project Shield, which we just got our hands on. And since then, it's been a little slow. We've seen a lot of Chinese phones that are never coming anywhere near us. Other than that, though, Tim and I are having a blast. The show itself might not be so much, and we can tell you guys aren't all that interested in some of the stuff, but for the most part, still having a good time. So we're just going to run through some stuff that we like, don't like, some of the highlights that we've noticed or that you guys have mentioned. We also want to take some of your questions, comments that you've noticed from the show, if you like anything at all. And then, yeah, we'll talk about some of just the silly stuff that's been going on here in Vegas. So first thing we want to do is talk about the favorite thing we've seen so far. So, Tim, your favorite thing has been?
Oh, well, I really enjoyed NVIDIA's Project Shield. I mean, when it comes to, like, favorite, or just how about, like, just the coolest thing I've seen so far has just been Project Shield. Tegra 4, I mean, like, NVIDIA combined everything I wanted to see all into one. Like, Tegra 4,
How dare they?
How dare they? So I'm really excited for Project Shield. We just literally got done with like an exclusive hands-on, and it was a ton of fun. We got the gallery up and all that stuff.
Yeah, I mean, as far as favorite things, that's got to be topping everything. And I know we've seen some mixed reviews or some mixed comments from all the readers and stuff, but for us, I mean, it's been the talk of the show. I think when we were standing in line ready to get our little interview on it, they were receiving an award for something. I assume it was that. I'm not really sure. But they were getting an award for Best in Show at CES, and I'm assuming that's what it was for. Their grid announcement that they had for the cloud gaming, that was pretty cool as well.
Exactly, and how it all kind of ties in with that.
Yeah, so other than that, though, there hasn't really been anything awesome. I mean, it really hasn't. It's sort of sad to say. You know, we handled a bunch of phones. Actually, no, I got it. The Sony Xperia ZL, that phone. So right before we got to CES, right, I was talking about how Sony, I can't stand them, and I don't like anything they do, and everything they make's ugly. It's changed completely with yeah. So this is what we're dealing with, people. But my opinion of Sony has changed completely with the ZL. The Z was okay, it was a little bit big, but the ZL was the same exact phone, just in like a smaller package. It was all screen, on-screen buttons. The camera was, well, we didn't get to really test the camera, but I'm assuming it's going to be amazing. It had a new sensor in it. So the ZL was probably my favorite so far. Eric, have you seen anything that stood out to you while you've been sitting chilling?
I mean, really, Project Shield pretty much stole the show, and I was reading somewhere earlier, you know, this CES has just not been as good as the last couple. You know, last year we had the Droid 4, you know, shown off. We had the Razer Max announced. We had all sorts of stuff last year, and this year it's pretty much been Project Shield and a bunch of other phones. But I mean, Shield is pretty interesting. I'm excited to see where it goes. I don't think I'll have Shield because it looks kind of clunky to me, and I feel like if I wait a couple of years, they'll slim that down. So, but that's just me being cheap.
Yeah, Tim, would you want to explain like just the feel of it? Because Eric, you said it was clunky, but like we just got done holding it. We definitely have some opinions on it.
Feels fantastic, dude.
Really?
It does.
It feels really good in hand, smooth, really light, a lot lighter than I was expecting, but almost not light enough to where you feel like you're going to snap it.
Yeah, see, when I saw
the perfect sense of, or like the perfect mix of kind of heavy yet soft. I don't know, man. It feels great.
When you look at pictures of it, it looks like it weighs like 15 pounds, and it's just like
not at all.
A big brick.
Yeah, it looks huge, but it's not. Like it feels about the size of an Xbox controller, but then you know, it's got the screen. The only thing we noticed, and we mentioned this in the post, and you can't fault them for it, but the clamshell, you can tell like a bunch of people have been handling these, and the clamshell was a little bit loose, and the guy even pointed out. So clearly these are really early prototype models. They'll obviously work on the quality and stuff like that, but yeah, it felt pretty nice.
felt pretty good. It felt a lot better than I was expecting.
The HD display looked pretty good. It was sensitive to the touch. It's running stock Android, which is awesome.
Yeah, and the guy was like, I was like, so who's going to be like updating it? Can we expect NVIDIA to be pushing the updates? He's like, nope, straight from Google. And I was like, what?
Yeah.
I don't know if he really understood what the heck I was talking about.
Yeah, I wouldn't hold them to that either.
He was clearly confused. They will be pushing the updates, but yes, it's stock, so they should be able to update it. And NVIDIA seems to care about Android, so I can imagine. I mean, in the press conference or a press event, how many times did he say stock Android? It was like a dozen or something. So they clearly care that it's stock, and they'll make sure it's updated and all that stuff. So what about you guys in the chat? Have you guys had a favorite thing that we've either written about or maybe that we didn't write about Samsung's flexible displays? There was kind of some cool stuff here and there, just nothing major. We'll let you guys answer that for a while. So what about least favorite thing? You had something that you just shook your head at and couldn't believe?
Yeah, maybe like a mix. Kind of like Verizon's keynote was like the biggest waste of time I've ever had. I don't know.
I heard AT&T's was pretty bad.
AT&T's is bad. Verizon's was so bad.
We didn't spend time at AT&T's thingy.
Yeah, we didn't go. So AT&T had their dev summit, which the last couple of years has been sort of a launching pad for all these phones and all this good stuff. And this year it was and it was all the way out at the Palms. It wasn't at the convention center. So you had to, take a cab or something out there, and we didn't want to deal with it.
Yeah, that sucks.
We got lucky this year because the last 2 years they announced stuff. This year, not even a thing. Yeah, Verizon's was embarrassing.
It was boring.
Yeah. As far as products go, I'm not really sure what was bad. I mean, everything was pretty bad.
Anything
that Arcos gamepad thing was pretty bad.
Okay, Arcos gamepad was pretty bad.
So yeah, we go from
and
Project
people
Shield.
have been hyping that for like weeks. Like that was on the level of Project Shield, before the CES.
Yeah, I mean, it's
we're all
priced
excited about it.
It's priced at $169.
$169. The screen on it's terrible. It's like 1024 by 600 or something.
It's the worst I've ever seen.
The controls, like the little joys, were awful. It was bad.
I tried playing Dead Trigger and I thought I was about to break the thing, trying to move the guy.
And they were bragging about this technology they built in to help map the buttons really easily. And Dead Trigger, when you tried to do the view joystick, it was spinning in circles and wouldn't stop. It was so broken. Yeah, we felt a little bad for them. They clearly were excited about it, and we tried it, and it just wasn't happening. But at $169, it could be good for a kid's toy or something to play something.
Yeah.
Like you played Rayman on it, it looked fine on that. It just didn't work with Dead Trigger, which we'll probably want to play with.
Yeah, a few of the phones that are going over to China, the ZTE Grand S. I mean, cool specs. But when you got to the booth and you're like, it just says it's running a Qualcomm processor, and you're like, and you talk to one of the booth girls that's there, and you're like, hey, what kind of Qualcomm processor? The Snapdragon S4 Pro? And they're like,
It was a giggle.
They're not paid to know what they're talking about.
They don't know what they're talking about.
Yeah, I see some of you guys are mentioning processors. So we got new Snapdragon 600 and 800 from Qualcomm. We obviously got NVIDIA's Tegra 4, and then today Samsung dropped the
octa-core.
the dual quad-core octa processor. We didn't make it to the Samsung keynote because we wanted to go check out Pebble, and the Verizon keynote was so bad, but so we did miss the Exynos announcement, which it's fine. It's probably not coming out for 6 or 8 or 10 months. I'm not really sure, but so we got new processors. That's actually pretty cool. We just got through this new wave of the first gen quad cores, and now these new ones are gonna. We talked about where do we go from here. These actually do sound like they're a pretty legitimate step forward. So definitely excited to see that. Qualcomm will probably beat everyone to the punch again. NVIDIA said they were just starting to sample their LTE modem, and I don't think the Tegra 4 is ready, but Qualcomm seems to just be on top of it. So
yeah, I think they're going to move pretty quickly on that.
I think so too. I mean, they are dominating the market right now because they had LTE first, coupled with their own chip. So it should be good. Samsung will obviously be there, but we really want to see Tegra 4 get up there because of the gaming capabilities and what they're trying to do there. That 72 core GPU. It sounds so insane, but
yeah, I think when you talk. Someone saying, which one do you prefer? Like the NVIDIA Tegra 4, the new Exynos? I don't know. I mean, you can't really say because I haven't played with either. Neither has Kellen. No one's played with them. We haven't seen benchmarks or any type of real stats or anything
Pretty
like
much
that.
just announcements.
Time to see what you prefer. Sure, I want the octa-core. I don't care. Tegra 4, what? Yeah, I'm sorry. 8 cores. Oh, okay, I'll take that over 4 any day. But at the same time, I enjoy NVIDIA and NVIDIA's products just because they're so kind of Android. friendly, gamer friendly. I can get down on that. Samsung is just doing it just to be jerks at this point.
I
to
can't
rub salt
imagine
in.
how long a battery is going to last on an 8-core chip. Like it's just.
Well, that's the point. It's supposed to last forever.
It's supposed to.
That whole they're adding in 4 more cores just so to save you battery life. So
I don't know.
Interesting.
you don't know.
I'll believe it when I see it.
Yeah, it's going to be a while before we see some of them, I think.
Yeah.
What about just thoughts on CES in general, right? So we've had a couple people, we've seen some posts today for people that have said, like, CES, this is the worst ever. Why am I here? What's going on?
Why am I here?
I don't know that we necessarily feel like, why are we here? But it's definitely not the same CES that it was, you know, when we had the Bionic and LTE and all that stuff. I mean, even last year was a little bit down.
That was the last good mobile year.
Yeah, that was 2011 CES, right? Yeah, that was awesome. Because last year it was okay. This year, all we got really was a bunch of phones going to China.
Yeah.
I mean, we got 1080p screens and everything, all going to China, except the Sony ones. But they, you know, it was only HSPA, so it's not coming to Verizon. Like, yeah, if anyone was excited about those Sony phones, they were only listed as HSPA, so it doesn't sound like they're coming to Verizon.
Yeah, Sony and AT&T have a thing for each other, and I don't know if they have it in writing or not, but it might as well be.
That's too bad.
And no, Motorola's not on the floor.
Oh, yes, we had somebody ask on Twitter, too, if Motorola was here. They don't even have a booth.
Moto's not here. Asus is not here. There's a few companies that we would like to see on the floor, but they weren't. HTC, no.
No,
They were at PepCon, but they weren't on the floor.
And HTC's doing a cocktail hour tonight. We're going to meet up with them, but
they'll probably have some stuff there, and I'll take some pictures for you.
Yeah, and Asus, they had a booth at the PepCon event we went to, but they're not actually at the show floor. So there seems like there's some companies missing. Obviously, this is the first year Microsoft has exited CES, which is kind of a big deal.
And to take Microsoft's place was like this unknown Hisense company that I've never heard of, but they do like fancy TVs.
So Microsoft had this prime location inside Central Hall at the convention center that they've had forever. And then when they said they were exiting, I think people got a bid on the space or first come, first served. I'm not really sure, but Hisense got the spot. So when you walk in the front door now to the main hall, you get Intel there, right there, and then you have Hisense. And I'm sorry, I don't even know who Hisense is, but they had phones and tablets and TVs, and they were doing big things.
They're definitely into display technology. They had like an LED panel there, an OLED, Ultra HD, whatever it was. Super fancy.
Yeah.
Just throw in all the adjectives that you can think of and just bam, 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 bam.
Pretty gorgeous.
Yeah, I mean, this year was it was 4K TVs. That was kind of the big thing. It seems like what everyone was talking about. Everyone was announcing 4K TVs, so you can't buy any of them. And OLED TVs.
And using Project Shield to push to a 4K LG TV during that press event. It was sick.
Did they do that?
Yeah. So, NVIDIA on stage, pushed 4K video to a 4K TV. It was pretty awesome.
Well, all right, so 2 years ago, someone just asked about, so Android basically took over CES. Well, basically. So 2 years ago, we saw like the first Android tablet, Motorola Zoom, just kind of like make its first appearance and stuff. Now, you walk the floor of CES and it's just littered with the most crappy Android tablets you've ever seen. There's hundreds of just Android tablets running whatever they're running.
It's embarrassing.
It's just pollution.
I saw
CES is tech
Droid was
pollution.
making one now. Polaroid's making an Android tablet.
Polaroid has this crappy little tablet. We looked at it for all 2 seconds. Well, there was a kid's version with a resistive touchscreen that we just like thumbed real quick and it was gone. And then they had another one that I don't think it could power on. Or no, it did power on.
It did power on,
and
but it was like...
Oh, no, they had these giant widgets on it that looked almost like Windows 8 panels, and you could remove them, but that's what it was. It was like stock Android, and then this giant like widget that you were just like a shortcut to everything you wanted to do. It was not good. And then they had Android cameras too there with interchangeable lenses of Polaroid, and we looked at those for all 2 seconds. I mean, it's been bad.
Yeah. Someone asked how the Galaxy camera's working in practice. Working pretty well. On the floor, it's working really well when I need to get good shots of something, and then like email it or upload it. But when I'm like in the press events and all the keynotes and stuff, you can't even use it because I have to use another app to kind of access our live blog and then upload the photo onto there. So, but they want me to use like the app's camera software. So then I'll take a picture and then it'll come out looking all blurry. And so I can't use the Galaxy camera during a live blog, which was really unfortunate, which I was really hoping I could. So it didn't really work out too well, but it worked all right.
But we've seen them everywhere, though. Everybody's got them.
Everyone has a Galaxy camera here.
We're not sure if they're all just review units because it's mostly press that has them, or if people are buying them.
Actually buying them?
We've seen a lot of them, which is kind of crazy. Do you want to talk about Huawei and their giant 6.1-inch phone?
It's my next phone.
So, I got to talk about the press event. So I went to the Huawei event so Tim could go stand in line for the Samsung event. And it was invite only, and so they were like turning people away at the door. But I got in, sat down. They had this big like buffet. There's like shrimp cocktail, like all this stuff. And then they had the devices on display before they even announced it at the press event. So you could go before the press event started and play with the D2 and the Mate. So I took some pictures and stuff. And it was just, their CEO came out on stage, and the guy was awkward. You know, he doesn't speak that good at English. Their demos were they were sort of silly. Like I was telling him, I was sitting there, and Samsung has a line of 600 people trying to get into it. And I'm at this Huawei event, and the guy's on stage going, it's waterproof, watch this. And there's a fish tank on stage with the guy. It's not like decorated or anything. Fish tank full of water with a plastic beer pitcher. And he's scooping up water and dumping it on this phone going, check this out. This thing is waterproof. And I'm going, are you kidding me? And meanwhile, I leave early to go meet Tim at the Samsung thing. And it's like the most beautiful event you've like ever stepped foot in. There's like moving pieces and screens raising and lifting and it was so cool. And Huawei's was a guy standing on a black wood stage with a fish tank. And it just shows you how much different Samsung is than everybody else. It's kind of crazy. But yeah, the phablet. I said it for my first time ever. 6.1-inch.
6.1-inch. Yeah, I got my hands on it. It's no good.
Not good. I mean, they stood on stage and said a bunch of cool stuff technology-wise, but I mean, the U.S. government, how many times that was said, we don't trust CTE or Huawei. So no one's ever going to get these phones unless they go to Cricket, which we keep saying. Yeah. Do you want to talk about the Sony devices at all? We talked about briefly.
Just besides how they rock.
Yeah. You liked them too, right?
I've never liked a Sony smartphone until I came here and saw the X and the XL. Or the Z and the ZL.
Yeah, the Z and the ZL.
Yeah, good phones. 13 megapixel camera. Totally awesome. Getting to play around with it and stuff. The builds are sweet. I really want the purple one.
Yeah, they had a purple one.
Yeah, Kellen was talking about just buying one from Europe and importing it in and putting it on whatever, HSP plus whatever.
I think I'm gonna. Well, because the ZL. No, yeah, the ZL was it's going to limited market.
ZL was the smaller
and that's the one I liked. So I'm gonna have to try to import the thing.
Yeah, because so the screen takes up 75% of the like front real estate of the device. Looked fantastic.
It looked awesome.
1080p.
And Sony Skin didn't look bad. It was actually, they had the best wallpapers ever. We were figuring out how we could just steal the wallpapers off the phones.
Yeah, I wish,
Pretty awesome. And it's waterproof. They had like a fancy like dunking mechanism. You like press this button and it would just like dunk a phone. It was behind glass. I think we have video of it. But yeah.
And the camera was actually really good, if you're curious about that.
Yeah, we've seen some samples and stuff. We played with it. It was fast. The camera was. That's one of the reasons I want the phone, because I want that camera. It's brand new. It's what's the Exmor RS sensor or something like that. Yeah. It's supposed to be fantastic.
Well, the problem is like so a phone is out right now that has all the new fancy HDR, blah blah blah. But then you got Nvidia who just announces like our HDR is going to be 20 times better than this, and it's crap.
I know.
Because now I can't buy this phone because of the camera, because I want that one that's coming out later. It's a real pain in the butt. But compared to what Nvidia had going on, the camera was quite nice. 13 megs.
Yeah, definitely cool. So we're finally seeing our first batch of 13 megapixel cameras in phones.
They've
been rumored forever.
Right, so yeah, not that 13 megapixels is like the standard of quality, or like how you measure quality in any like a picture scenario, but knowing that more cameras are coming out with powerful sensors and all that stuff, it's helpful. But we're not saying that 13 megapixel makes it a better camera. That's not what we're trying to say.
No, but it's just cool to see technology advance to get better.
Yes.
Yeah. Let's see. Did you want to talk about Samsung tactiles that they're putting everywhere in Vegas?
Absolutely.
It's kind of random.
Yeah, well, we were at Paris last night for dinner, and we come out, and I was like, I'm just going to go play on the slots real quick. And I was like, all right, I'll watch.
Penny slots.
Yeah, penny slots, people. I was like, all right, I'll watch. And then we're like, sit down, and we look above, and there's like these Samsung tactiles on each one of the slot machines. And I'm like, I don't know. So like, put my phone up to it, and it goes, beep, and then it just takes me to the hotel's website. which is
What?
neat. But like
Yeah,
Samsung, I like
kinda
they're
silly.
partnering with like getting people into textiles and all that stuff. Tactiles.
So they partnered with
Yeah.
Caesars, right? So all the Caesars hotels.
Yeah, all the Caesar
Yeah.
hotels, I think. Yeah.
And yeah, so I feel bad for the guy that's gonna have to go around and remove all those damn
Yeah, that
stickers.
sucks, dude.
Or whoever had to
They were-
program that all.
Yeah, they were on there pretty
Yikes.
good.
Yeah, and we're meeting with them later tonight at Caesars to like sort of celebrate or talk about the Samsung tactile thing they're doing. We're going for the free drinks, not to talk about textiles. What do you wish that you saw at CES?
HTC M7, man, it was rumored here and there, like, oh, it's gonna come to CES, blah blah blah. Just didn't happen, people. Just didn't happen.
It was kind of a year of hype beasting that none of it came true. Like nothing that was hype beasting came true. We got no new LG stuff. So we're sitting at the LG event, right, which kicked off press day on Monday, and we got nothing. They talked about the Spectrum, the Spectrum 2. They tried to brag up the Intuition.
Gross.
And then they, of course, talked about the Optimus G, and the guy actually on stage actually pulled out a Nexus 4, but that was it. And what were the rumors leading up were, we're going to get that G2 and a 4.7-inch edge-to-edge phone and a high-res 7-inch tablet, and they the list went on, and no.
I think the only phone that got announced is actually coming to like an American carrier is with a Pantech.
Yeah, the Pantech.
Yeah.
AT&T announced a Pantech phone, but that was like $50.
Yeah, whatever.
Samsung
Which
did
might be
not
coming to
make-
Verizon now.
Yeah, which could come to Verizon.
Yeah.
And which no one will buy or care about.
Nope.
And then Samsung announced the LTE Note 10.1. Are you kidding me? I mean, that's all we got there.
Well, seeing as how the logo was 4 inches.
Oh
big.
god, yeah, the logo. So I think
Yeah,
that
I
was
saw a
one of
picture of
the
that.
one of the big stories of the week was the logo, the Verizon and 4G LTE logo on the Note 10.1. It was embarrassing. We posted a couple of pictures of it. It was gross. We said something to the Samsung reps. We said, "What's with the logo? Don't you guys have any say in this?"
Nope.
And all they would do is like shake their head and say, "You're not the first person to bring it up." So clearly, everyone was complaining about that damn logo. Yeah, that device will be overpriced. It'll be $500 or something. Don't buy it.
Easy.
Yeah, don't buy it. Buy a Nexus 10 or something. Much better. I don't know what I wish I would have saw. Maybe a new LG phone. Guess I didn't come in with a whole bunch of expectations, although the G2 would have been kind of cool. But the Optimus G just came out like November, so it seemed way too early anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah. I guess I was hoping, sort of like when we go to I/O every year, that we don't predict what's going to happen. They just surprise the hell out of us with something awesome, and that didn't happen. I mean, we saw some cool TVs, like I said, but that was it. A bunch of smart appliances. It was just a weird year. Eric, was there anything that you wanted to see, you were really hoping for and didn't get?
Yeah, that was kind of the thing for me. I wasn't really expecting much coming in, and then there wasn't really much to surprise me anyway. This year I was kind of, I didn't really have any expectations, so I was like, oh, well, this year I'll be surprised, when something awesome gets announced, and then it was Project Shield, and then nothing. So, I mean, that's what I've taken out of it so far.
Yeah, it's been a sleeper of a show. Yeah, and somebody in the comments said, "Did you ever imagine you would want to see a new LG phone?"
Nope.
No, no, I never did imagine that. Not in any year. Let's see what else. What else do you want to talk about? Random Vegas stuff. We rode the New York roller coaster last night. We're pansies. We psyched ourselves out, and they put us in the front row too, just to torture us.
I can't.
It's scary.
It was awesome, but it was really
awesome.
short. Like once we got done, we were like, "No, come on."
Yeah.
We wanted to keep going. We did that last night. We ran into Dennis Rodman on the first night.
Dennis
Really?
Rodman made fun of us.
Yeah, and he made fun of us. Yeah, we came out of the NVIDIA event and at the Palms, and we walked out of I think the bathroom, and we were like, "Oh, there's Dennis Rodman," and he was dressed in kind of sweatpants, kind of, like the track pants.
Yeah.
And I think a t-shirt and a hat.
And a big old scarf.
Yeah, and a scarf that was from his shoulder to the back of his knee. This is the longest scarf in history. And he had it wrapped a couple times, I think, too. And Tim goes, I got to get my picture with him, or at least got to say hi to him. And so we're like, okay. So we walk up to him, shake his hand. Well, you shook his hand.
I shook his hand. I was like, "Yo, man, I love you." I've just ever since I was a kid,
Yeah.
I was just like, "Oh, I love your stuff, man." And then, so then I'm like, and he's like, "Oh, I can't tell you." And I'm like, "What was he saying?" Because, okay, so we don't really know what he was saying because he was a little messed up.
He's so burned out.
And he was talking about "Oh, what you here for?" blah blah blah. And we were like, oh, we just the like NVIDIA press thing. We're like, oh, you the geek guys?
Yeah.
We had our backpacks on.
Oh yeah, you're the geek guys, and we're like, oh, we're the geek guys. Thanks, man.
Thanks, Rodman.
Good.
We started talking about San Francisco and sushi.
We started talking about sushi in San Francisco. We had no clue. And then he was like,
Wow.
hey, when you guys getting, or when you going? When you going?
When you going? When you coming? When you going? I don't know. The guy made absolutely no sense. This was like a Sunday night. This wasn't like Friday night. He should have been out partying. This was like a Sunday night at like 10 o'clock.
He looked at his like homeboy and he's like, what day is it? It's Tuesday, right? Wednesday? I'm like, it's Sunday, man.
It was bad. It was quite the start, though. I mean, Dennis Rodman.
That's awesome.
And he was cool though. I mean, he was like a nice guy. Like he shook our hand, was like, "What's up?" But he
wouldn't let me get his picture with him. I was like, "Hey man, can I get your picture?" And he's like, "Don't go there. Don't go there."
What?
Yeah.
And I was like, or crap.
Oh,
that sucks.
Yeah. So no picture with
Shot
Rodman,
down
no autograph. We were a little scared. I mean, Rodman's an intimidating guy.
We got a bunch of people in the chat asking about news on Dish Network, so I figured we'd give them an update.
Oh yeah, tell them because I have no idea what's going on.
We don't know.
So earlier this week, Sprint, well, not earlier this week, Sprint has been trying to buy out the other half of Clearwire that they don't own for a while now. And it's kind of mutually accepted between the two that Clearwire is going to accept Sprint's deal. But then yesterday, Dish came in out of nowhere and said, hey, we'll give you 11% more on all your shares, and we want to do this. And a lot of sites... And that was the news, during the middle of the day. And then another round of news came out last night that we didn't really report on. A lot of sites said that Sprint or Clearwire had rejected Dish Network's deal through, citing this document. But, upon reading through it, Clearwire never really said no. They pretty much just said that we haven't changed our suggestion that we're going to go with the Sprint deal, and they have to talk to Dish Network. So it's still kind of up in the air at this point, but it's looking more like Sprint and Clearwire are just going to get this finished later on this week or probably sometime next. So yeah,
makes sense. I think everyone was ready for Dish to go big so they could do Google. I could see that in the comments.
Well, I mean, Dish did go big. I mean, Sprint wasn't throwing out some change for this, and then Dish came in and said, yeah, we'll give you more than that. But I guess Sprint and Clearwire were too far into the deal at this point for it to be backed out of. So, unfortunately, we're going to have to wait a little bit longer for our magical Google and Dish Network wireless network.
Yeah, definitely.
Probably just a few more decades.
Dish seems like they're everywhere, too. They have this giant blow-up kangaroo for their hopper service. Did you see that outside? Mm-hmm. With like a baby kangaroo, a joey coming out of its belly. It was like one of those giant like blow-up things. It was probably like 30 feet tall or something. Ridiculous. So CES is just ridiculous in general. The booths that these people put together and stuff. It's pretty insane.
It's the darker corners of CES that are actually quite interesting. Like, there's three separate halls, north, central, south. And like when you go into either the north hall or the south hall, and you go like in the back, like where people don't go, you see some stuff like you didn't even know existed.
I've seen some things, man.
Yeah, I've seen some stuff.
Yeah, I mean the south hall is like double decker, and we made sure to take a special trip into the bottom floor.
Yeah, the south of the south.
It's like the dungeon of CES. There's just some
really
weird
cheap booth spaces.
Really bad. And when you get like in the back corner against the wall, like stuff just falling apart.
That's where Rodman hangs out.
Little Twist was going to be there.
Little Twist.
Yeah, some guy trying to get to be Little Twist. Yeah, he was going to be in the farthest back corner of the South Dungeon. YMCMB not doing big things at CES. It was pretty good though.
But we saw
Barry Sanders. Saw Barry Sanders today.
Did he make fun of you?
No, Barry Sanders did not make fun. We just took a picture from way back. There was a line of people trying to get that. I think my favorite thing about the CES show floor though is the dirty old men that take videos of scantily clad women dancing.
All those poor booth girls that have to dance around and shit. And then you have the guys that are like, ooh,
yep. With their nice Galaxy cameras.
So, yeah, when we went into the North Hall earlier today, there was girls getting body painted. And so they were wearing, like, underwear and pasties basically, and they were getting body painted, and there was seriously guys with video cameras, like
all
videoing
in
them
it.
getting painted. It was
It's
so gross.
nasty, dude.
It's so
I
gross.
desperately, to our lady viewers, like we don't appreciate all that.
No.
That's not cool.
I see someone wants our opinion on Pebble, so we sort
yeah.
of differ a little bit on this. I backed it, so I'll have one. Probably one of the first ones, I think, when they ship towards the end of January. I really like it. I'm excited for it. I think I got a black one, but I just like the fact that it can last for 7 days, and they're actually going to try to support it. I don't know, I'm excited. You're not, though. Why don't you like it?
It's just meh.
It's just another smartwatch.
Yeah, I don't like the interface. Like any.
It was like the
that they
first
have and all
smartwatch.
that. Oh, I'm sorry. Eric, go ahead.
Well, I'm just saying, like Pebble started that, that whole craze. It seems like it's been forever since it happened. But
well, I'm Watch started it, and they've been awful since the beginning of time. They actually
didn't
had,
they come out with a
new
GPS
version.
thing at CES?
Yeah, it was like a kid tracker or something. I don't even know what it was.
Throw
It's
in your
like you
kid's
can like
backpack,
attach
you
it
know
to
where
your
it is
kid.
forever.
Yeah, something like that. But I think they had a new version of their iWatch, and it was apparently awful. They were giving them out. We didn't even bother to stop by.
Yeah.
That's how bad it is. Yikes.
Yeah,
I
I'll
like
just stick with my Nike Fuel Band, and I'm good.
Yeah, stick with your Nike Fuel Band or your Nike smartwatch, and you'll be good.
You're good to go.
Yeah. Well, it's 5:40. We only have this room for a little bit longer. What else do you guys want to talk about from CES? Anything?
Yeah, feel free to shoot us some questions.
Yeah, shoot us some questions.
And we like seeing girls dance. It's not that. It's
Yeah,
just,
we like
it's
seeing
when
girls
guys
dance.
stand there and just film it. That's
Just
not
creep.
cool.
When they
Yeah,
go to
they
the
just
creep mode,
Yeah, like we're
that's
classy.
not cool.
Like, we don't need to creep.
Yeah,
I
so
said, what's up?
at the NVIDIA booth, which is the NVIDIA booth is set up really nice. It's one of like they have a Tesla there with like a 30-inch touchscreen or something.
NVIDIA?
NVIDIA, yeah.
Oh,
Wasn't
man.
that a Tesla with it was like a 25 or 30-inch touchscreen, which is beautiful. And like they have an Audi there too. But across from them, speaking of dancing girls, was like they were like
The worst
they were
one.
like the fake Pussycat dolls.
Yeah.
And they dressed as nasty as they possibly could have. And yeah, there was like a crowd of like 50 guys like
course.
reaching up high, snapping pictures. Like, oh my god, it's embarrassing. It's embarrassing.
Those geek guys.
Yeah. Oh, you the geek guys.
No wonder Rodman hates us.
Yeah, Rodman talking trash to us.
That's all right.
Nice guy. Nice guy.
Super cool.
Did he have normal colored hair for once?
I think he had a
He had
hat
a hat
on.
on.
Still all the piercings.
He had a
though.
hat on, big glasses. I couldn't even tell it was him, except I know Rodman.
Yeah.
I know Rodman when I see one.
Yeah.
He still has all his piercings and stuff. He's still a tall dude, but he's
so
getting
crazy.
there. He's crazy.
Yeah.
Could you beat him in basketball now?
No, probably
With
not.
him being crazy.
No, he'd still dunk
He'd
on
still
it.
he'd still dominate.
He'd still
Even though the
work
guy
it.
could never shoot, he'd still dominate us.
He'd still fight us, like just on the court.
We haven't had any other like celebrity sightings really. There's been a bunch of like Tim Tebow was here, like
Saw
Snooki.
Russell
and
Tim Tebow's not going to be there.
Was it Russell Simmons?
we did see Russell Simmons.
Russell Simmons.
Saw Russell Simmons.
No Beavers, no
some
Gomez's.
Beavers. Like Ludacris and LL Cool J was supposed to be here, but
Never saw him.
didn't see him.
They're too cool to hang out with the geek guys.
Probably. They were just at a booth in the back corner with a little twist, probably. Or CES.
Whew.
Oh yeah, Bill Clinton was there this morning.
Brooklyn was here. He was at the Samsung thing, though. We didn't go to that, so we did miss Bill.
Project Shield will not be a subscription service.
Oh, yeah, Project Shield. They're going to sell that thing at
They're
a
gonna sell
premium
it.
price.
And you're the one buying the games. Like, they don't need to sell you
On
a
top of
subscription.
that, yeah.
Yeah.
No
we
pricing.
didn't, and we didn't check out the Yodo phone. We saw that it was announced a few weeks ago. That's the dual screen phone with the e-reader or e-ink display on the back or whatever. It looks embarrassing. I don't know. Maybe that's just because we're snobs, but it looks pretty bad. And I saw that it was here, and I haven't really learned that much about it. Maybe we should. If you guys want us to check out the Yodo phone, we can probably try to get our hands on it. Actually, didn't we ask them, like
Don't
their
make us
PR
do
company,
it.
to send us one? But
Yeah.
they're Russian or something, so they were like, we don't know if we'll ever get it back from you.
Android release. So, we got, what about the $150 Android Arcos tablet? I don't know if you're referring to the gamepad or not, but
No, they had a bunch of tablets.
well, they had a bunch
Arcos
of
had, like,
tablets, but just don't
9.
Yeah,
worry
that's
about them.
There was
Oh, wait.
one that was pretty. The display was like retina-ish,
Oh, it was
and it looked really nice.
like a
but-
Platinum series or something like that.
yeah, but it was square, like it looked like an iPad. It was where they had a landscape one that had a more squat screen. Then they had the little squarish iPad one, and
Yeah.
they had so many tablets. I don't know what the hell they're doing. They're all affordable, but
They're affordable,
Yeah.
but the problem is they're just not. Like they had a 13-inch one called the Family Pad, and just don't. I don't know. I guess for some, you know, if you want to sit on the couch with your 10 kids and play Angry Birds all at the same time, go for it.
Oh, that would be so bad.
Yeah.
So many fingers on Angry Birds at the same time, that'd be horrible.
Yeah, the resolution's bad, man.
People want to know what you pay for Project Shield. We talked to them about this, but
Yeah,
what
yeah,
would,
that's, you know, on like they ask.
Yeah.
They didn't give hands-on to mini sites and stuff, and the ones they did, they were really concerned with how the readers were, you know, kind of accepting towards Project Shield, and we told them every time, price is number one for these people, trust me.
Yeah.
And especially Android users, man. And so for me, I want it to be like 250, 300 tops.
No way.
Okay, well,
How much do you think it's going to be? Eric?
Yeah.
It's going to be 400 or above.
So.
$399 or above?
I could see them doing $399, but I'm thinking 450. I'm think that's a if they put it at 450, I think they would move a lot of units. Any higher than that, they're going to be cutting into their user numbers. But I don't see them going under 400.
We told them if it was over 300, no one's buying it. We were blunt with them. We said if this thing's over 300, I don't think anyone's buying it.
Yeah, we told them that we had the poll, like, will you buy it, won't you buy it? Come on, like 85% of people said either no or waiting to see price. I mean, people want to be excited about it, but not if it's going to be crazy priced. And like I always refer to the Nexus 7, I'm like, okay, it's like the best tablet on the planet. It's only $200. Like if you can do that with Project Shield, make it affordable, I mean, come on.
Yeah. And Evan the Gamer, we see you asked why we didn't do a video. We did. We just had to upload it. We just had to cut out from uploading to do this video, to do the hangout. So the video, we'll upload it right after this. It shouldn't take too long. So there's video.
With Project Shield, you're basically it's a console in and of itself. So and all of the all of the stuff that makes it so cool isn't going to be cheap. You know that outputting to 4K resolution and being able to play, stream from your PC from across your house, all that kind of stuff. It's not going to be cheap, and I think they're going to market it as a console in of itself. Like you could buy an Xbox 360, or you could get the Project Shield and have your console in your pocket.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
If they do that, I think it's going to be 400 or something like that.
Yeah, well, people are wanting to say that Sony, Nintendo are their competitors. Not at all. Like, Project Shield does way more than what those things do.
Yeah.
Being able to play a PC game.
So should it be more expensive then?
I don't know. I don't know.
I mean,
it's like its own category. Almost.
It is its own category.
Yeah.
It's doing something that no other thing does. Because NVIDIA invented, what it does.
Yeah.
Will it be more expensive because of that? I don't know. Really, frankly. I mean, I care, but at the same time, it needs to be cheap. It needs to be, purchasable. It needs to be affordable.
Yeah.
So I could not be more passionate on that. It needs to be affordable.
So you want it to be affordable?
I want it to be affordable. I want it to be $249. Tell me how you really feel. I want it to be $249 or $299. That's it.
If it was 300, it would fly off the shelves. It would be sold out.
That's what I told them. That's what I told them. And their PR people keep asking me. So
I can't really see them getting it that low. I can't do it. But
they didn't really
it would be
like
awesome. It would be fantastic.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong.
Yeah, we'll see. I mean, they're very curious about what people are expecting out of it. So,
yeah.
But again, and I wouldn't even be able to use it because you have to have like a GTX powered system at your house to run the games. So I wouldn't even be able to use it to its full potential because I don't have an NVIDIA powered machine. So and you need one. So that's kind of a pain. So if you can even afford the machine to run it, then maybe you can afford Project Shield as well.
Yeah.
So that might be one of the little problems there too. But I wouldn't mind just having it for a flight, man. Well, it's like they always do that, like NVIDIA enhanced, so it's NVIDIA exclusive, blah, 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 and then they'll open it up later or something like that. NVIDIA loves doing that stuff.
Yeah.
We hate it, but they love it. So,
because it gets them money.
Yeah, good pub. Good pub.
Let's think. The PSP Go, when that came out, was $250. That thing was a piece of shit. Excuse my language.
Which one?
The PSP Go.
I don't even know what that
I don't
is.
know what that is.
Yeah, it was the one that didn't come that you couldn't use discs on, and it was all downloadable. It was a train wreck.
Wow.
That was $250 when it came out, and that thing didn't do diddly squat.
What's the newest thing? Is like the Vita or something? How much
Yeah,
is
the
that?
Vita is
not doing too well.
$299.
And it's not doing well, right?
Yeah,
It's not. It
really
wasn't like
not.
as good as the PSP was. Or anything like
I mean,
that.
PSP's been done for years. They can't.
No, it's been done, but it was popular.
You can't hold a candle to Nintendo. But let's see, the 3DS is $250, I think, at this point.
Huh.
And Shield does a hell of a lot more than 3DS will ever do.
Shield does more than almost any device ever made.
Yeah,
exactly.
I mean, the Shield is basically a PC in your hands.
Dude, you can play multiplayer Black Ops 2 from the Shield.
Yeah.
Get out of here.
Oh, yeah. So in our
that's
video
awesome.
that you upload, you'll see the guy that we were sitting with trying to play. He wasn't playing multiplayer. He was playing.
He's bad.
Yeah, and he couldn't even get off the helicopter. It's hilarious. I actually had to cut like a minute off because he just kept dying and dying and dying. It was hilarious.
And so not only that, so then once they release the Grid application as well, then you're going to be able to turn any device you have, Tegra device that you have, into a gaming system. Like we played.
Well, you have to have one of their Grid servers, though.
Right.
Yeah.
But like.
Well, you don't have to, but somebody has to.
Someone has to have
game
it
through Grid
exactly.
or whatever. Yeah.
And that's a service that you could probably pay people for
Yeah.
or whatever. Like someone will
Which
host
they're
it and you
hoping
pay. Exactly.
gaming companies will, buy into that.
Exactly. So, dude, being able to play Black Ops on like a 1X, that might suck. But like a Nexus 7 and all that, like that's cool.
That would be pretty cool.
That's innovative. And if like CES was a place for innovation, well, how about this? All right. So like if NVIDIA stops going to CES or at least announcing big things at CES, I'm just gonna stop coming.
We're just gonna quit showing up.
Yeah. I mean,
We'll come back probably every year, but it's just not. This is not a mobile show at all anymore. It's still a consumer electronics show, but it's TVs and appliances and stereos and headphones. Actually, there's more headphone vendors than anything, I think. Yeah. We think we saw Damian Marley.
I think it was his like long lost cousin.
Old cousin.
Someone related to the Marley
Yeah.
family was there giving autographs.
Yeah. I don't know. We still had fun in Vegas, even though CS has been kind of a dumper.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. We're out of here tomorrow morning, though. This is our last night, so we got some press events with HTC and Samsung and Verizon right now. And then we're out of here. That's our CES. So, if you guys, enjoyed what we had, it's just the two of us. We don't have a 30-person staff to cover everything in the world. So, we try to get the big stuff. Hopefully, we got enough of the big stuff. Project Shield was the biggest. We got a video coming, so we'll get that up so you guys can see that. But
Project Shield, baby.
yeah. But otherwise, I think we should cut out. We're about done with our private room time here.
Yeah, they started yelling at us and stuff.
Yeah, they're gonna come bang on the door. Or
Yeah,
something
whatever.
right now.
we're Droid Live. They can't say anything.
Oh, they
We're the
can't.
best.
Oh, they can't. They yelled at us earlier. We haven't gotten yelled at too many times yet.
No, we've done really
Except
well,
by
I
Dennis
think.
Rupp.
Except
Have we gotten in trouble? No, we haven't gotten in trouble.
yeah, we did. We were stealing network cables off the computers
We were
here
stealing
to
some
get
Cat
fast internet,
5s.
and
Stealing some Cat 5s.
we got yelled at. The guy was legitimately
He was
pissed.
pissed.
Yeah.
Yes.
Quit stealing my internet.
Unplug that now. I mean, he was like standing over my shoulder. Like
Wow.
I think he was gonna slap me if I didn't plug
That's
it in like
impressive.
30 seconds. Yeah,
That's impressive.
yeah, it was intense.
That was awesome.
Yeah, but anyway, yeah, we got to get out of here. We got to go meet up with Verizon, do some things.
Oh, that's right.
But we thought we'd just do a quick live show.
Yeah.
Somehow
hope
we
you guys
managed
enjoyed
to fit one in. Yeah.
Yeah.
Hope you guys enjoyed it. We will.
We'll be back
in the
tomorrow.
morning. We're flying tomorrow though, so coverage might be a little spotty. Apologies for that, but
Expect us in the afternoon.
yeah, we'll definitely be up in the afternoon, a little bit in the morning. But anyway, we are Droid Live. We'll talk to you guys later. Thanks for tuning in.
Adios.
Bye.
Peace.